Today I prepared a short speech which I call the state of conversion, very modest wording of course, and basically because we are now seeing so much international speakers here today, so we're seeing what's going on in the world. So I want to think about what is the impact of that here in Sweden, and where are we with this word conversion optimization, or perhaps dialogue optimization, like Tom called it. And basically, there's a new guy in town. I think that this year is really the year when conversion optimization is becoming kind of mainstream. So it's we went to a meeting a couple of weeks ago at one of the big media houses, and we were looking at streamlining the flow into one of their publications. And the project manager we were there with, basically after the meeting, said that I need to introduce you to my boss, and could you just say hello to her? She's in this room, and we kind of, hello, it's us. And she goes like, these are the guys that work with conversion optimization. She goes, oh yeah, those guys, you know. 3 years ago, it would have been like, yeah, what are you talking about? Like getting on top of Google or something like that. So it's getting a lot of awareness. People are now aware of it. So we are pretty much in this stage now. We are like conversion newlyweds. We've seen how you change the button and look at this result. Just like Tom was explaining how we did all these great projects in the beginning, and we're seeing uplifts of 20 and 30% and all that. It's great, and we're reporting it to our bosses, and things are looking great. The only problem is that in this situation, the marriage, it looks like this after a while, like we saw this morning. So we're all going to go there one day, someday or later. It's going to be more about, conversion optimization would be like getting the kids to kindergarten and emptying the dishwasher and filling it again and so on. So I don't want to be pessimistic, but that's the reality. So here I'd like to show you some numbers which I got from Chris Goward at Wider Funnel. And basically what they saw, they made this is a survey from eMarketer, where they're saying that conversion optimization has for the first time in 2013 passed social media and brand viral in terms of prioritization in companies. Now these are US numbers. But also, the conversion rate dissatisfaction is growing. So people are doing more on conversion rate optimization, but they're also more dissatisfied with the conversion rates. AdWords and other advertising costs are going up, and conversion rates are not keeping in pace with that, so it's harder and harder. And also, they are saying that the conversion rate improvement is getting harder. So this is in the US, and I would say that they are probably three years ahead of us. So this is what we're going to see in 3 years from now. Now we're running out into the street, and we're happily newlyweds, seeing all these exciting opportunities, but we're going to get into this sooner or later. And it's hard work, so we just need to have some strategies to cope with that situation. And basically what we need to think about is that conversion optimization is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And also strange shit happens. It's you're doing something, and you're thinking that, oh, I have these great hypotheses, and then it completely bombs. So you have to be prepared for that. And also the other thing that happens is that success will come unexpectedly. Stuff that you never thought about will just hit you, and you won't, in the beginning you won't recognize why it happened, but then after a while you might figure it out. And also, fourthly, it's lonely at the top. Basically, some of you, if you have these responsibilities in your company, it can be quite lonely sometimes. You're in the online team, perhaps you are the online team, and maybe the only person really caring about this stuff. So you need to find sources of inspiration and network with others and blogs and books and all those things. So really this conference is also a lot about connecting all you people. What's going on in this room is exciting, I hope, but also what's going on out there. It's really important for you guys to hook up with other people where you can share ideas and work as a team. So basically to not hit the wall when you're going into the everyday life of conversion optimization, the things you need to think about is that you need to use a method. You need to work in teams. And you need to kind of embrace this truth that the only failed test is the test, the one that you don't learn from. We're going to do all kinds of failed tests. We're going to see, Simon's going to show a really failed test that we did, which we learned from and changed it and turned it into great success. Yes. So 3 tips along the way. First of all, the devil is in the details. I'm a detailed kind of guy. Basically, I think it's interesting that the first book, correct me, Andre, Tone, and you guys, I think the first important book in this area was Landing Page Optimization by Tim Ash. That was like the first book that really got out, started to talk about this subject. I think it's interesting that it's called Landing Page Optimization because it focuses on the landing page. That's where, like, it says here, the definitive guide to testing and tuning for conversions. And it's about the landing page. But as you know, conversion happens on a lot of other places than where you start the journey on the site. And I think, basically this is a question, how interested are we? I think that marketers in general, there's a lot of fuzz going on around the click. And then the landing page is somewhat less important. And when you're coming way, way, way deep, long into funnels, at the very end of it, it's like, there's some IT guy that can just fix that. It's like, it should just work, you know. I'm not going to pay any attention to this. But the way we see it, when we work, is that we see it the other way around. It's very hard. This is very competitive, but it's really hard to get an edge here. On the landing page somewhat, when you're close to the buying, when there are people are just about to buy, and if you do the right thing there, you can really, really get great results. So this is it's a weird image, but I think it's kind of summarizes how we see the world. I don't know if you agree, but that's how we see it. Here's an example from one of our clients. Now they're in a business where they're saying high value services, I would call it. So basically, people click on Google AdWords for this particular service. It's very high. They need to bid very high to get the click. They come to the site. They enter some details. They get a quote. They choose between a couple of options. Then they start filling in who they are and all that. And then lastly, this is the last thing they see. They've done all that. They clicked on AdWords, came to the site, selected their option, filled in their details. And now the only thing they need to do is to fill in the email address, the telephone, and first here is en konstig onödig fråga som jag inte förstår. Och här vill juristen att jag ska säga att jag har läst som jag fullständigt skiter. So 2 questions here. And basically what happened here, when we started measuring on field level in this form, 57% of the people that started typing in their email address did not hit the buy button. So if you're starting to type in your email address, you have a pretty high intent to purchase. So the only thing stopping you is now this telephone number and these 2 fields. And 57% of the visitors thought that was too much. So basically our theory around what happened here was that we proposed to change this vertical flow into a vertical flow instead of this flow that goes, is it down here, up there, over here and back. So there's now a completely vertical flow. And we also think that, you know, one of these, you can get away with one of these questions. It's like, yeah, some stupid check mark, I'll take it, whatever. If there are 2, it's just, oh, there's something fishy going on here. I need to read this, you know, I can't make a decision right now. I can't give you the results. I heard about the results yesterday. They have a significant lift of purchases after they did these changes. So even this late in the process, you can still gain a lot of conversions. Here's a case that I did. Maybe some of you saw it. It's on our website. I videoed it. It's a Dropbox. It's about Dropbox. I mean, they're a fairly big business. They use the freemium model, so you can get a free subscription. But then they wanted to upgrade. One of the upgrade options is Dropbox for Teams, which I wanted to start for our team in Conversionista. So I hit the start free trial button. I did some, fill in some things, and then I was filling in the expiration date for my credit card. Here I'm doing it. I'm looking at the card. When you do this thing, like you fill in the expiration date. Basically, what's going to happen is that you're looking at the card and you're doing like this, right? You're looking at the card. So you're not looking at the screen. You're not looking at the keyboard. And then I got this message. It says invalid expiration date. It says 0117. I'm looking at the card. It says 0117 on the card. It says, it's wrong. I do it again. I try another card. All those things. I get into contact with customer support. They say there's nothing wrong with the page. It takes me a couple of days. Finally, I crack it. Basically, what happened was that it says 0117 on my card, but they want me to type 012017. And since they have the labels inside the boxes, once once you write it, you don't see the format requirement anymore. So I'm just wondering how many millions the Dropbox lost because of this simple usability bug. So small things like that can have a huge impact on conversion. And all this was going to be saved by this thing, you know, the connect with Facebook. So it would take care of all these form problems. But the thing, we're seeing that for a lot of customers, this is not a customer, but it's an example. We're seeing that people are perhaps now more and more hesitant to use this. They want to kind of keep the kind of Facebook stuff in one bucket and other important stuff in another bucket. So, for example, Ticktail, they used to have this, start a free online store, sign up with Facebook, sign up with Twitter, they now do this, skapa en egen webbshop gratis, it's only the email address. And the Facebook thing is different. It's a little bit hidden. Why? I guess they probably tested it, and this probably had a better conversion. Here's another thing about unexpected results. We don't ask for any more information than you need. So we optimized this form. We took away a lot of stuff that wasn't needed to get in contact, just telephone and email address. So we tested that. We had a 64% decrease in conversions on the form, because I guess that people were expecting, like, if what you're saying is as a visit, you're promoting a kostnadsfritt hembesök. So if you're promoting a visit, you're expected to give the address. It's kind of not serious to not ask the address. So we had a drop and we had to put the original conversion back. Devil is about the details. I thought this was a great example of advertising. This is where you inflate your bike, the tires on your bike. It's on it's called Slussen. Yeah. So you bike up there. So some clever guy, he taped this onto the thing where you fill up the air in your bike. It says cykelfix, call this number, everything. I thought this is a great idea. You know, right where people are, where they are with the bike, you get an advertising message. But it's like you have to be more precise than that. Because look at this. He's not looking at that advertisement. So that's how detailed you need to be when you do this. There's one example which I thought about where they actually do that. Where you look, so when you were having lunch, I went across the street to the Shell gas station. I got this shop because there you have the advertising when you're actually looking when you're filming. Great copy rules. You already heard that. Brian taught this. Craig was talking about it. I just want to show one example that we have. I've talked a lot before about how strong the influence of images and how we react to people's eyes and how we react to skin tone and for men and women. You know, it's the saying that men look at pictures of women and women look at pictures of women. So there's an image of women. We gave a guy, John, he's called, to the task to find a perfume for his girlfriend, and we did eye tracking, and this is what he saw. There's not a single fixation on that woman. Everything here is on the menu. So in this particular case, how you optimize the text here and what you call the different categories is a lot more important than the image of this woman. It's not a single fixation on it. Because it's like stock photography. And there's an even newer guy in town, which is about this thing called content marketing. So if you're looking about what's going to happen in the next couple of years, if there's something in Sweden that we missed, which is going on in the US, and my kind of general theory is that a lot of stuff that happens in the US will eventually kind of break here. Business-to-business companies use their website as big buffets, smörgåsbord, and then people can come in and kind of see what's on there and decide whether they want to stick with something or not. This is a neighbor of mine. His name is Sven. He's the CEO of a kind of medium-sized B2B company. And I said I was just before Christmas. We were having some glögg at his place, and I said, so I noticed that you don't use your website to kind of sell your services. And he said, no, that's because we don't sell they don't sell on our website. No, I noticed that because you don't use your website to sell things. No, because they don't sell on the website. Okay, but it's maybe because you're not using it as a sales. No, because people don't buy on the website. And then we got into this kind of circular argument about this. And then I just said the glögg is really good and could have some. So basically, I think that's how a lot of B2B companies see this. But now there's this kind of new thing called content marketing. And then all the buzzwordy consultants try to, kind of get target that domain. There are all these words called content marketing, inbound marketing, lead generation, lead nurturing, drip marketing, and marketing automation. And it's you need to get this strategy around this. I looked at Wikipedia. This is the Swedish text that explains content marketing in Swedish. Innehållsmarknadsföring, engelsk benämning content marketing, är ett medel inom marknadsförings- och kommunikationsbranschen. Det syftar på att med en smart strategi, i motsats till dumma strategier, och redaktionell ton skapa ett kommunikationsinnehåll som attraherar målgruppen. Detta ska göras i rätt kanal och med anpassning av innehållet för en särskild kanal. Liksom, när det här står på, when this is on Wikipedia, someone is writing like that, you can see that it hasn't, nobody's got it really yet. So what is content marketing in inbound marketing? Instead of screaming about your products in bought media, you create, distribute content which centers on the problems and the challenges of your prospects. It's not about you, it's about them. They will search and find your content. They will visit your web page or Facebook, whatever it is, and will give you the opportunity to engage with them. So this is, I'm talking B2B now, but this is also a valid point for a lot of B2C companies, where for example, houses, perhaps loans, all those like really high things that you pay a lot for. There's a complex buying decision and so on. So the first winning content marketing is content. So when you're going into content marketing, you need to focus on the content. It's there's a lot of we need to get on this content marketing. We'll get some guy to write 10 white papers. We put them on the website, and there's a big button like register to read our white paper. And then as soon as we get a telephone number, we call them. And we're done. We did the content marketing. There's a lot more work to it than that. And basically, I think that I borrowed this from Brian. I really want to direct your attention to this scale here, or I call it cycle here. Because this has helped us a lot in a lot of projects. You remember what he said? He talked about, I changed it around. Unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. So basically the whole process of content marketing, and what's eventually called lead nurturing or drip marketing, is about moving your prospects from one step to the other. In most cases, you cannot move them in the whole cycle on a single visit. You will need multiple visits to do this. The problem that a lot of people do, they're trying to do all this at once. But you really need to focus on moving your prospects kind of one step at a time. So basically, this lead nurturing drip marketing thing, what is that? It's basically reaching out to your prospects. It's a planned process of reaching them with the right content at important points in their decision process in order to take them to the next level. That's what we call lead nurture. And then marketing, what is marketing automation? How many are familiar with the word marketing automation? About a third of you. So marketing automation is the tools and applications used to automate the activities in these processes. So basically you have softwares and tools and services. They will basically identify who's coming on the site, seeing if they visited before, what they did, and okay, based on that pattern, we will now serve this content and see if you if you engage with it. If you don't, try something else. All these kind of rules behind it. The problem that when you're getting into this, and you're thinking like this content marketing automation, that's some advanced stuff. We need to focus on that in our company. What probably will happen is that some people will find an IT solution to this problem. And that is marketing automation. So before you do anything else, you need a new system. Has that ever happened to you? Like, if you just get a new system, a new IT system, it will take care of everything. But the biggest secret about marketing automation that is not automated. So it takes a lot of hard work. So basically, the way you need to approach this, you need to start at the top with content marketing and inbound marketing. You need to identify what content you have. You need to build great content. Have it on your website, on your Facebook page, in order to get people to start engaging with that. And once you do that, now you can start figuring out if people are coming here, how do we build this lead nurturing process? You usually start by just getting a phone number and calling them right away. That's not the right thing to do. Because when you call prospect too early, they're going to say no, and you wasted your chance to engage with them. And then the last thing you should do is marketing automation. We got a company here today called My Prospect. They're exhibiting out there. They have you can go look at the US tools for this. They're called like Marketo, Pardot, Eloqua. So if you have like $500,000 or a couple millions to spend on this, go for any of those tools. There are some local alternatives to that. One of them is called My Prospects, it's out here. So I just wanted to, the reason I wanted to talk about this, because this stuff will happen. This is like conversion optimization 3 years ago. The results that US companies are seeing from these kind of activities is tremendous. So this stuff will happen here in Sweden. And by that, I think that is my last slide. Yep. So, and with that, a little bit ahead of time, I'm going to hand over to a guy. There's a guy called